Okay, so welcome to another Send Lawyers to Hell video, where we're stepping rather far away from Doom just now in the game called Don't Make Love, and this time Celine is with me.
Hello.
Hi Celine, so how would you describe Don't Make Love?
Well, you see, when a mommy mantis and a daddy mantis love each other very much, they do a special dance, and sometimes the mommy mantis eats the daddy mantis's head.
Yeah.
Now, this is a game where you've got a mantis couple here. They're going through a turbulent point in their relationship because they love each other very much and they want to take their relationship to the next level. But of course, they're a little concerned about that part. The male understandably doesn't want to die. The female understandably doesn't want to lose her beloved, let alone be responsible for the death of her beloved. So what we have here is a relationship talking simulator. This is at the point of their relationship where they have the very difficult philosophical conversation about what they've built so far, what they want in the future, where this relationship is going. And it's a text parser game, kind of like Facade, you know, that old internet meme, the one with the melons. Although this one's a lot more easy to take seriously, where you have to assume the role of one of these mantises and have a heartfelt conversation with the other one and navigate this very difficult problem they're facing.
All right. Okay, so it's going to be quite talky, but if you did follow me for the Doom stuff, it will potentially involve eating someone else's head. So everyone's happy. I do kind of want to ask you to go back to the whole melon thing, but I think we should get started.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, I'm going to be male to start off with, and we'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, you spent many pleasant months together, but these days she seems distant somewhere else. You have an idea of what is worrying her. She's afraid. You haven't dared to ask yet. You want her to talk first. You want to listen. You haven't really thought about it seriously yet, and you definitely never thought about it with the intention to make such a serious decision. I love the photo album down here.
Oh yeah, the art in this is outstanding. Okay, so you can click to type your response, and at the bottom there you've got some physical actions you can do instead of saying something. You know, you can hold hands, hug, kiss, or you've got the little help menu there that just explains all of that. Or you can make various facial expressions and emotions and everything. So have a conversation.
I came in unprepared to do this. I thought I was going to get some nice dialogue options. I've got to make this up myself. Okay, so can you see enough to voice Girl Mantis, or would you prefer me to?
Yeah,
okay.
I can do it.
Go ahead.
This seems like a quiet place. The wind isn't too strong, and the sun is about to set. I like it.
I'm just going to comment on the beauty of the scene.
We walked for so long. I'm tired. I'd like to stop here for today.
Okay. We can stop here. I've been meaning to talk to you.
Do you ever think about the future? But just for the record, you can effectively pass your turn, just kind of not say anything and let your partner continue by either saying continue or go on, or of course you can just make one of those facial expressions down there, or just hold her hands or anything like that. The trick, of course, is to find the balance. If you never say anything, or if all you ever do is talk, like eventually she'll get mad. Like, there are two people in this conversation, right? Like, you don't want to be talking over and interrupting her. You do want to let her speak, but you also have to participate. So
Okay.
it's just like a real conversation. It's about finding the balance. So, do you ever think about the future?
Okay, so I've got to put all my social skills that I've built up from 34 years of playing retro games and not interacting with other humans. Do I ever think about the future?
The good news is you're only interacting with a mantis.
Our future? Alright, so I've got this is important.
This is important.
Hug.
Hold me tight.
I love you, girl mantis.
I love you too.
It would be so wrong of me to wreck this game by just by replying. So you want to bang, but I don't know what I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
The good news is that you can kind of let your partner take the lead. Like they're the ones who want to get something off their chest here. Your job is to listen. So if you just like pass your turn, they can usually get you back on track if you get.
Okay, I'll deal a kiss back.
What's that kiss for?
Go on.
I know we don't usually like to talk about it, but we can't avoid this conversation forever.
Caress.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Yes, like it was yesterday.
We were so happy.
We were.
I wish we could go back in time to those moments.
Hug.
Don't let me go.
The slash fiction being written about us just now is unbelievable. Is that still a thing that happens? It used to be really big in the early 2000s, but I don't know. Maybe I just not really involved with people in that community anymore.
Depends on the fandom, but listen, we look into each other's eyes every night.
Go on.
From time to time, we allow ourselves to kiss. But how much time do we have?
Caress.
It's so nice having you here.
It's nice being here with you.
Thank you.
Smile.
I like it when you smile.
You make me happy.
Nice. You too.
Smile.
Sometimes, here's where it gets slash fictiony. Sometimes I have desired.
What kind of desires? Oh God, what kind of It's impossible to believe that I've been married 13 years, isn't it?
I think you can imagine.
Ooh.
Are you okay? You aren't even speaking our language. I don't don't think the parser recognized that.
No. Kiss.
I'm glad you've gone back to speaking our language.
Kissing is a universal language. Smile.
When you smile, you always seem so carefree.
I have desires for you too.
The point is, I feel we're building something,
Go on.
and I think it's something delicate we should protect.
Yes, we should.
Let's try to hold things together, even when things get tough.
Like my head and my body?
Some of my friends laugh at us.
Oh no, why?
I guess they're not very open-minded.
How open-minded do you have to be not to support a relationship between a species and exactly the same species? Hug. Oh.
A female mantis does... I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading this. One moment, please. I'll read that line in a second once the screen comes into focus a little.
Mm-hmm.
A female mantis that doesn't want to have sex because she doesn't want to hurt her partner.
Mm-mm. You're important to me?
You're important to me, too.
Oh wow, this is... It's so uncanny having it respond. I know that people have been able to do this since the 1970s, but this feels like there's something deeper to it.
Well, it's why I compared this to Facade earlier. It's not the first game of its kind where you can, just type in whatever and the characters do a more or less good job, reacting like that. Facade, of course, was more of a meme because it didn't do quite this good a job, and it ended up being accidentally hilarious. But this, I feel like it really does. It puts you in the moment, and it's sweet. It's a sentimental, heartfelt kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I brought up all these things.
Don't be sorry, I want to talk about them too.
Anyway, I don't think we can just go on like this. I want to be certain. I want answers.
Answers to what?
I don't know. We probably can't really be certain. Excuse me. I don't know. We probably can't be really certain.
Go on.
I don't want to force you in any way, but I want to move on, to openly talk about the possibilities we have.
Hug.
Before making a decision, though, I'd like to talk some more about how we feel about this.
Oh, I don't know. I want to invite her to share her feelings, but I also want to hold up my end of the conversation as well, rather than just encouraging her. Even though...
Yeah, it's just like real life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to have a conversation.
I feel nervous. How about you?
I'm also nervous. But we can work on it together.
Correct.
I really wish we could keep going forever.
I wish that too.
I love you so much. I want you so much. But I don't want to risk hurting you.
You don't have to hurt me.
I don't want to kill you, so there's no reason to ask me that. I'm not interested in killing anyone, except our prey, of course.
What do mantises prey on?
Other bugs, I
Other-
think?
smaller
bugs? I'm sure we can look that up and have a lovely little insert in the actual video here, but
Yeah.
I don't know that off the top.
Alright, let's just say go on for now.
Sometimes I don't feel comfortable with our peers.
Why is that?
They look at us in a weird way.
Sideways?
I know we shouldn't care about what other people think of us.
Go on.
Are we a joke?
We're not a joke.
I'm worried because it's our nature, after all. Making love is in our nature, with all the risks it.
Hug.
There are some mantises that simply don't care.
I'm glad you care.
I'm happy as well when I'm with you.
Go on.
But honestly, I don't feel we can blame.
We're different, and they can accept that.
They just do what they feel, and you should be free to do what you desire.
Go on.
Only if it's consensual.
I consent.
My female friends have already had a couple of lovers.
How many?
Some of them survived.
I'm willing to take those chances.
They told me their mates were happy in that moment. All of them.
I would be too.
You never talked much about your friends.
They're all strange. No. I don't like talking about it with my friends. Or, alternatively, all my friends have been beheaded previously by your girlfriend.
I know, but we have to anyway.
Go on.
What do they think of you? Of us?
They wish they could find anywhere near as compassionate a mantis as you.
Aw. I'd be so happy to meet another couple like us. It'd be nice to share a problem.
I'm sure there must be others like us.
Maybe I should be more honest with you.
Go on.
It's not that my thinking is really specific or fixed. But I do have an opinion about us.
What is your opinion?
What really concerns me is how long.
How long until we have to make love?
What are you talking about? Do you really want us to make love?
Yes, all caps.
But that's crazy.
I love you so much. I've forgotten the aim of this game.
But it's your life that's at risk.
I'm willing to risk it.
I love you. I can't do something like that.
Hug.
I feel so comfortable.
Me too.
Do you know that there's a chance you wouldn't die?
Yes, I do. I'm willing to risk it.
Now I understand why you seem to feel so secure.
Go on.
You said you want to make love, but you don't seem to want it. There are things other than words.
Kiss.
I'm glad you understand.
Hug.
I feel your love.
Caress.
You're trying to convince me.
That's really lovely. Smile.
You're not saying anything. Is something wrong?
Let's make love.
Thanks. Maybe now we can focus on what we were talking about before.
This is a go-on situation, I think.
After everything, you've convinced me. I'll make sure this is the best day of your life, since it might be your last.
Thank you, Mantis wife. Wow, okay. So, and then you can scroll back and see what you did and what the reactions were.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that compare to your first playthrough?
My first playthrough was a little more, a little less physical and instinct driven and more emotional, kind of lovey-dovey. We ended up deciding to make love. We still did it, but instead of her giving that speech, well, actually, I was the female in that case. Instead of that speech, it was more like, well, you know, I trust you. I love you so much. You know, we can. Our love should be enough to overcome the instincts, etc., etc. They put it a lot more poetically. I don't remember the details, but it was something along those lines. Whereas you, with you, it's more accepting that it's a possibility, but you know, let's at least make this the best day of your life, just in case.
Okay.
Either way, we both failed at not making love.
I'm a rabbit. What do you expect? Yeah, what an interesting game, though. I had no idea that it was just going to invite me to type an answer and then try to interpret things out of that.
It's really, you don't see a lot of games like this, again, aside from Facade, which was much less good at it, that just invite you to, like, have a serious relationship conversation simulator with a text parser. Like, they have to put in, you know, and they have to account for not every possibility. There were a couple times where I noticed the game didn't quite recognize what you typed, but it came way closer than anything you would expect for like $5 on Steam, you know?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what I was thinking of is, you know, all the way back in the 1970s, I think, with Eliza, the computerized psychotherapist, which, you know, it could recognize things that you typed and kind of ask them back to you in an almost human-like way. But, you know, it's come a long way since then.
It has.
I think Zachtronics is about to do another game called Eliza.
Oh, God.
I think they said it was a visual novel, which is a bit of a departure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm used to Zachtronics being like, you know, my CS 300 level homework, but
yeah, you have to build the visual novel yourself first out of 100 tiny little hexagons of different colours.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I never really finished Opus Magnum. I've got the Opus Magnum patch that the physical embroidered patch that they sold to people. I think it was the first 100,000, I don't know, people who completed the game in its demo state. But I never got into the serious ones where it says, okay, now that you've done that part of the game, here are some scenarios where you've got limited space and limited resources, and it's really a Zachtronics game now, and I couldn't get past the first level of that.
Yeah. So I've actually never really got around to starting Opus Magnum, even though I own it, just because I have so many games in my backlog and I've been busy with, everything. But it is on the list. It's a very long list. But if it counts, I have beaten Space Chem and TIS 100, which I think should give me a doctor's note from me from ever having to play a Zachtronics game ever again if I don't want to. But I am interested in Opus Magnum. It looks fun. It's just, I've got other stuff, but it's in the works somewhere.
There's so much other stuff. Yeah, Opus Magnum's really beautiful. I thought I'd completed TIS 100 because I got to what looked like the ending, but then they added another scenario, and so I'm now only about halfway through. I didn't complete Space Chem. I got to the first, the planet where you can't move your factories around, and then there are new elements that don't even exist.
Yeah, I remember that part.
But yeah, after that you get your doctor's note and you get your degree in engineering from Zachtronics. Do you want to just go through this one more time, and this time I'll take the female part, and can you just advise me on what to say?
Sure.
All right, let's see.
This will be more what our playthrough looks, or yeah, I guess what my old playthrough looked like. Either way.
All right. So hang on a minute. So what happens if you choose playing as the female mantis? Is that a completely different game, a completely different conversation?
I mean, it's a completely different perspective on the conversation. Your partner's concerned about different things, like you were playing as the male, where your partner just didn't want to hurt you and was afraid about losing her beloved and like the guilt of that, and just not wanting to hurt the person she loves and all. Obviously, if you play as the female, your partner is more conflicted about, he loves you, but he's also kind of afraid for his life. It's a different problem. It's a different perspective on the problem. The interesting thing I noticed this in the different perspectives. If you play as the male and just start out super horny out the gate, just like kissing her, like almost more like than even talking and everything, you can kind of unlock a hidden ending where she's like, well, if you're sure, I guess. But if you try doing that as the female, it backfires horribly because the male just thinks you're hungry and is really uncomfortable and would really prefer you stop doing that, please. So it's different perspectives.
Yeah.
I like that they took that into consideration. The I guess semi-inverted when you're a mantis couple.
Yeah. So in this introduction, we got he's so distant that he doesn't even hear what you're saying. It's such a strange to bring up the topic because his life is at stake and in your hands, and you're too afraid to lose him. So I'll read out the lines this time, and if you want to prompt me for what the reply should be.
Sure.
Sorry for asking you to follow me here, but it was kind of important for me to be in a quiet spot.
I understand. Thank you for inviting me.
I think you've noticed that I've been a bit distant lately.
Yeah, ...
And I guess you're wondering why.
What are my facial expression options again? I haven't played this game in a while.
Okay, there's a smile, there's a sad face, there's a shocked face, and there's an angry face.
Do the sad one.
Sad. So far, it's been nice being together, making plans for the future, sharing our desires and our aspirations.
Go on.
But now, I don't know what happened.
Caress.
Caress. It's just that I was struck by a realization. I realized it's just a matter of time before we're drawn to each other in a dangerous way.
I know. I'm sorry.
I guess you were kind of expecting this.
I was.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. Maybe you were worried seeing me so closed off.
I missed you, but I understand.
I tried not to think about it at first, then I tried to explain my feelings away. I tried to convince myself and reassure myself.
Go on.
I saw that you noticed, but I didn't feel ready.
I understand.
It's not that I think you'd harm me now, but I look at you and...
Smile.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. So are you.
And I do feel attracted to you.
I feel the same way.
I love you. I'm not saying I've forgotten what you were and are for me, but now these fears about our relationship are growing.
Frown.
It makes me sad too, but if we keep talking, maybe something good can come of it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a proper solution, but I want to know what you think, even though I think I... Oh, God almighty. What? Oh, yeah, I suppose so, yeah. I thought... Usually, you know, when a man says that to a woman, that's a red flag that you want to run away from, but in this case, maybe it's justified.
Yeah, like I said, there's the gender roles are a little different with the kind of power dynamic we have in Mantis relationships, which is kind of an interesting departure, actually.
So I don't think there's a proper solution, but I want to know what you think, even though I think I should have the last word.
That's a tough one. Give me a second.
I'll take the opportunity to slightly turn down this very nice airy guitar that's been blaring since we first turned on this game. Let's see. Let's turn you down a bit so we can actually hear. Alright. Welcome if you're just joining us.
I just miss the intimacy.
I'm sure that this conversation will help me, that it will help us.
It will.
I'm already feeling better opening up to you.
Thank you. I'm glad.
And I'm glad when I see you happy.
Smile.
Smile. Oh, I like it when you smile.
Correct.
Correct. It's nice having you here.
It's nice to be here. I missed you.
There are different aspects to consider. I'd like to talk about them together.
Okay.
I like you, and sometimes it's difficult to keep the desire at bay. My head's a mess. Where should I start?
Is there anything I can do to help?
Our situation is so ironic.
Go on.
For how much I love you, for every time I look at you, I feel guilty that we can't go beyond certain limits.
Yeah.
Sometimes I criticize myself. I say that I should be more brave.
I think you're fine just the way you are.
After all, it isn't so rare for insects to eat the male partner. It's in our nature.
But does it have to be?
I'm glad you said that. I wonder sometimes if things would be different if we were a different species.
Go on.
What kind of insect or animal would you like to be?
Oh, that's a good question.
Sorry, is that literally your response?
No. I'm thinking. That's a tough one. This is not quite where the conversation went when I played this game. I've never been asked that one before. I'll have to think about that for a second. And yeah, sorry I'm getting so schmoopy here. I do tend to be a little romantic when I play this game.
This is lovely. I mean, I've lost all my viewers now, but it's still lovely.
Sorry.
So you're now trying to imagine the fursona of a fursona that you're now playing in this game.
Yes, what is my Mantis Persona's non-Mantis Persona? I suppose I haven't really thought about it. I guess we just have to be honest.
I would like to be a termite king, and you would be my queen.
I think...
Sorry, can you repeat that, please?
I think I would really like that.
How do termites live?
I have no idea.
Because I think that termites just live as one colony. They've each got their individual tasks, but the colony is paramount to them. And so I don't know what the role of the king and queen are, but I suspect it does involve devouring one or the other as well. Or imagine if we could switch gender.
I think about that a lot. Probably not for the reasons the game is expecting, but...
Oh, wow. My perspective on all of this would probably be totally different.
Go on.
I wonder if I'd hold myself back like you do if I were female.
Correct.
Instincts are strange. Sometimes they clash with what you want.
I know.
And I want you.
I want you too. Ooh, yay.
This
sure
isn't
how
an
to
episode
respond
of
to
Friends.
that. I mean, I don't know how to, like, normally I kiss and then my partner reacts. I don't know how to react to being kissed. I guess kiss again?
It's so difficult to resist your kisses, even knowing what they could bring.
I'm sorry to have made you so conflicted.
My friends say I'm a fool, that at some point you'll give yourself free rein and I won't be able to escape.
Do you trust me?
I try to. Oh god, that sounded wrong. I don't think it... Hang on. I try to. I try to. I try to. None of them sound good.
I think I know what they're going for here. Sweet. Thank you.
Ironically, I could accuse them of the same thing. I know they all secretly want a partner.
Are they as concerned about dying?
Living a lonely life just isn't for us.
No?
I feel bad about just kind of talking over you here when the game doesn't recognize your response.
I think it is recognized. I think I'm digging this conversation. I do feel into this. I feel like it's there's a good give and take here. I mean, he is obviously leading, but I mean, he's the one that really has the problem here, so I'm letting him, and that's fine. Like, I'm okay with it.
Okay. In any case, we're going to have to deal with our nature. We certainly can't mutate into a different species.
Go on.
It's not easy for me to tell you all this.
I know. Thank you for trusting me with...
I'm doing this because I love you, because I want to start really enjoying the moments we spend together again.
I feel the same way.
I confess I really would like to be with you, in that sense.
Caress.
I know there's a chance I could survive.
Go on.
I'm torn between the love I feel for you and the fear of death.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
There's this battle inside me between what I want to be for you and what I am.
Go on.
My friends don't understand when I try to explain this to them.
Do they have to?
Oh. Should I accept my potential death or live with this sense of inadequacy?
Why do you feel inadequate?
Well, luckily enough you're here and you're listening to me. You can hold my hands, you can reassure me.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. I mean, caress.
You're really important to me.
Let's escalate that into a hug.
Feeling your body reminds me of how much I love you.
I love you too.
You're special to me.
Likewise.
Anyway, the most important thing right now is to keep talking. I'm sure I'll feel better.
I just want you to feel better. I'm glad this helps.
I'm happy as well when I'm with you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm in a weird position. I don't think you can completely understand how I feel.
Not completely.
But it's not your fault. You can never get inside somebody else's head. You can only empathize so far.
Sarah and I just kind of exchanged glances at that point, but go.
Go on. In fact, I probably don't fully understand your position either.
That's okay. I don't fully understand my position either.
I wish I could understand you better.
Is there anything I can do?
Why do you spend your time with me?
Because I love you.
And I love you too. But
Make the sad face there. Because he just did.
No, I'm here with you, don't worry.
Thank you.
I mean, aren't you drawn to the idea of having sex?
Well, yes.
Then why stay with me? You should break up and find a mate you don't care about to have sex with.
But you're the one I love.
But I do trust you. I don't care what the others might say.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. I trust you too.
I know.
Smile.
Smile. I like you so much.
Let's go ahead and give him a kiss.
Give him a kiss? Oh, what was that kiss for?
Because I like you too.
And we can't understand about each other. And what we... Sorry. Let me start that all over again. And what we can't understand about each other can be backed up by the trust that we feel for each other.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just heard a noise.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Counter smiling.
Counter smiling. Smiling. ...
Go on, I guess.
Trust is what we need more than anything now.
I agree.
I'm glad you agree.
We're, kind of not talking much at this point. This is more body language and just kind of snuggling and stuff at this point. But, you know, that's how relationship conversations go. Sometimes there are just things that speak louder than words, like holding his hand, for example.
Holding hands?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Caress is holding hands, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. I really wish we could keep going forever.
Do you think we can?
Sometimes I'm worried I focus on how I feel too much and neglect you. Do you think so?
I understand. You're in a very difficult position right now.
I'm sorry. I wish I could be more perceptive of your needs.
I just don't want to force you.
Oh, in a physical or intellectual sense?
Yes.
Yes. But I care about you. I love you.
I love you too.
I hope that somehow you've seen how much of a mess it is for me having all these contradictory feelings.
I have, but it's okay.
While we've been talking, I've decided I want to be everything to you.
Go on.
I trust you. I really do, so I'm not afraid anymore.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Let's be together. Let's live the most beautiful experience of our lives. Let's make love.
And that's about how my last run ended. That's not quite the route we took to get there. I wasn't asked the question about what species you'd rather be. That definitely threw me for a loop.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the that is the ending I got.
Fantastic. I would. I mean, it's a fantastic game. I also think that as soon as the Hatterful followers get their hands on this audio, the amazing things are going to happen. But the game itself is incredible. I'm so interested actually to just, if there's some kind of article or development guide to this game that just pulls it apart and shows how it reacts to everything. Although, some people might not like that. Some people, I suppose, prefer the mystery of how it reacts to you.
There is a certain magic when you have a partner that can respond to you like this, where, yeah, underneath the hood, it's all just programming and code and, looking out for certain keywords and, reacting to X with Y. And there's a way you can deconstruct that, I'm sure. But at a higher level, when you look at something like this, you can honestly feel something there. There is some emotion here. And, I guess, speaking of contradictory desires, maybe not quite as deadly ones, I can understand wanting to see how this works because it is really fascinating, but at the same time, also wanting to preserve the magic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's...
So I guess don't make love with the source code is the moral of the story.
Yeah. Games are so much more than I ever thought they'd be now. Because
they really are.
The possibility of this existing was just non-existent in the early 80s when I knew about, I first became aware of games.
Yeah, back in the day, you couldn't even get like a big AAA company with a major budget to come up with anything like this. And now it's like, with a dedicated 1 or 2 person team, or I actually don't know how big the team is. You've got your artist and your coder and so on. Someone did the music, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. There's a credits button right there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Smart. But anyway, my point is with this team right here, you can make it like a $5 or $10 indie game on Steam these days, which just goes to show how far technology has come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's
This is not a big
yeah,
team.
so
It's
te-
it's not one person, but it's like the biggest credit here are just the testers.
yes, yeah, and testing incredibly important as unlike what Game FAQs thinks, but the people who came up with the core idea of the game and did the art and sound, they're a very small core group.
I imagine a game like this would really need a lot of testing too, just to check when responses are going off the rails. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you can only make the safety net in a game like this so far. I'm sure if you want to just like flat out troll this game and just put complete gibberish in there, that I'm sure you can come up with things that it doesn't know how to react to.
Mm-hmm.
But they just to even get as much it can respond to as this game did, that you could even have the conversation we just did there, to even get that much of one. I'm amazed that small a team making it, and even that few testers. Honestly, it would probably take way more testers than that or I would have expected. Excuse me, I would have expected it to take way more testers than that to just come up with all the things you could possibly say and how the game could react to them. But even with the team of testers as small as it was, and even with the team of coders, even like if you scroll up, there's like one actual coder there.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. Design, directed, and programmed. So like one person like design, directed, and programmed this game. Then they just had like an art person and a sound person and so on. But that's to get that much fleshed out in something like this. That many things that the game can recognize and respond to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is quite a feat. And again, this is something that, however many years ago when we were growing up, like even, Square Enix couldn't have done something like this. And now it's just, a small handful of people making a $5 or $10 indie game on Steam. They can do something like this, which is just incredible. That's the world we live in today.
Yeah, and just down here, which probably won't be large enough to even see just now, but of course it uses the Unreal Engine, and things like that didn't exist before. The people working at home didn't have that platform. They didn't have Unreal or Unity or Fusion and things like that to base things on.
Now, here's a part where I actually would be curious to see under the hood here. What did they do with the Unreal Engine, I wonder? Because normally, maybe it's just because I'm not a developer, but when I think of the Unreal Engine, I think of, making like the 3D like planes you can walk around and stuff. But this was just, it wasn't a RenPy or RenPy, however you pronounce that. It wasn't like the visual novel engine game. I mean, obviously there's a lot under the hood here, but it's still just, flat scenes, gorgeous art, but still just hand-drawn art. They just kind of put pictures in there. There was no, physics. There's no rooms to walk around or anything like that. So what did they do with the Unreal Engine specifically, I wonder?
Well, it gives you a platform for just displaying things, setting up a game, and the real basics like that you would otherwise have to code for yourself, where it doesn't really matter how that's done under the hood, and it's now just I don't want to say wasted time, but when there's an engine that can already handle that for you, it's definitely good to have that head start.
Oh, so like the UI and stuff then?
Yeah, just basically everything that involves displaying something, getting a sound to play, all the real basics of how you interact with a game.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Because there'd be no reason to reinvent the wheel on something like that. Well then.
Yeah, this has been a fascinating experience. So thank you for going through that twice with me.
Well, thank you for going through it. I'm just the one who paid you money to make you play this game. Thank you for being willing. Thank you for doing this Send Lawyers to Hell project. I'm I'm glad you were willing to play along with this request, and I'm especially glad that you were willing to have me here, because that actually wasn't part of the original request. I wasn't expecting you to invite me for this, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for that. So thank you for having me, and yeah, and thank you to everyone watching this. Thank you for sending lawyers to hell.